Hello and welcome. Today, I wanted to show you a game that I had made called Vertices and Pi. So this game I had made as part of the Texas Game Jam, which is a game jam that my university's game developer organization had hosted. So, it was hosted over a weekend, so we had 48 hours to do it. So you can bet I spent most of that 48 hours programming this. And yeah, I did say I was with a whole team working on it to create the wonderful thing that you see in front of you. Well, in front of me, you probably see me right now. But yeah, so you can actually see the credits. I'll put it on the screen right now. We all worked very diligently on it, and we came together to make this. And I'm really proud of it. It didn't win any awards, but I think it's still a really good game, and I mean, you can even check out the other games that have won the award. I just wanted to show you the game that I had helped create, in case you were bored and wanted to play an interesting game. And then, of course, you can go off and try the other Texas Game Jam games, especially the ones that won awards, because they definitely stood out. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Alright, so wonderful screen right here, Vertices and Pi. Very original name considering the main characters are a triangle and circle. And so then let's get into it. So you can see, play game. In a world of division, separated by colors and shapes, an unlikely relationship between a circle and triangle began to blossom. They knew that love was forbidden, but they could not bear the thought of living without each other. Suddenly, their parents rushed in with eyes filled with rage like no other. The circle and triangle then realized in that moment the only place they could be happy was to run off. And so here I go. So this is kind of the main part of the game, where you're kind of running away from your parents, and you're trying to... It's basically like, I was gonna say Geometry Dash, but like Temple Run, where you're jumping over the obstacles, dodging. I think we specifically said... I don't remember what it was called. But you can see we're getting into the next part here. So here, as the two lovers were running, their parents hot on their trail, they came across those deep bushes far too big to run around. Their parents would never accept their forbidden romance. If the couple were to be caught, they wouldn't stand a chance of seeing one another again. In a moment of desperation, the triangle came up with an idea. With a sharp and triangular body, he would run through the bushes to clear a path for the circle to follow. He then jumped and hoped for the best. So you can see, this is now kind of, I guess I should have stated the theme, but the theme is in between. So you can see that the parents are in between their love, Romeo and Juliet, but then also between the main game, we have these mini games. So these mini games I actually programmed. The other programmer worked on the Temple Run / there's specifically a street one where you're running away after spraying on the walls. I'll put a picture up just to show. But yeah, so I worked on this. As you can see here, hidden credits. There's some, I forgot what they're called. But there's some side tasks that you could do where you could like the most popular one was Among Us, of course, but there's some other diversifiers that you could do, and one of them was hidden credits in the game. So you can see the other programmer worked on the other stuff, and then Rong worked on the art, which is magnificent, and then Joshua worked on the music, which he had never worked on music before, so yeah. So, I'm going to go ahead and press enter to begin. I'm just delaying my inevitable fate here, but this is essentially a hole in the wall, as you can see here. I think this is the second minigame that I worked on. I think there's 3 minigames total that I worked on. I like the little animation of them jumping through. So yeah, like, I guess I'll kind of give you a brief thing of how it works, but like, I'm using sprite mask to cut out a triangle. I missed it. To cut out a triangle in the sprite here, and then I'm overlaying another kind of triangle bush shape there, and then as well as randomizing these twig positions as soon as the bush comes over, and then in order for me to jump through, I just do a particle system, as well as changing the sprite layer of the player so he moves behind the bush. So I think it turned out really well. And I essentially, like, towards the very end, I think the last thing that I did was just add the triangle jumping through. Like, that was the last thing I ever worked on the projects, or on this project. Or like, I said projects plurals in like the mini games. But yeah, I worked on all of the mini games, and then with just like blocks and the basic sprites, and then I came back in with all of the edited art. Not the edited art, but it's pretty difficult sometimes, especially if you have to go from the bottom to the top, especially since I'm concentrating on speaking as well. Let me go through that bush there. Let me try not to get stuck. I had some plans for some other mini games, but 3 mini games was a lot to do in a short amount of time. But I think they turned out pretty well. I can show you the first mini game that I worked on after I beat this one, because what happens if the parents catch up to you? Well, you'll get sent into the parent minigame, which is the most difficult minigame. And got stuck. And yeah, you'll see it once it comes up. And to check if you've made it through the bushes, I basically check to see if your sprite layer is on the right sprite. Oh yeah, but I said I was gonna get into the player the parent minigame. So if you mess up enough, the couple looked over their shoulder to see that their parents were dangerously close to catching them. Nice music. The parents ran with a strong sense of hatred, determined to catch their kids and break their hearts. I'm gonna teach you a lesson that you'll never forget. Wonderful art and music. So this is a bullet dodging type game. It was just after I played Deltarune, so I was like, you know what? I'm making a bullet dodging minigame. So yeah, I'm gonna get into it. They're the parents. They're overlooking, angry. The other parent shooting triangles at you. Oh, I got hit. Now they're crying after triangle hit them. So yeah, pretty simple. And then the caterpillar / worm crawls in. I keep on calling it a worm for some reason, but it's definitely caterpillar. That like how this story was pretty much formed was that our artist was just writing a whole bunch of just random stuff on the board. Oh, my health is pretty low. And it's like, you know what? Yes, let's go with it. Oh, caterpillar stuck, but he's got it. But one of the drawings was of a caterpillar that kind of looked like that. Oh, I didn't even see him, and I died. It says like, you know what? I'm adding him. It's like the perfect thing to add. What? I got hit. So yeah, there's big projectiles and small projectiles. The caterpillar counts as a big projectile, as well as the big triangle, but then the tears and the smaller triangles that break off count as I like the sound that comes with it as well. Count as small damage. I had to actually tweak this game a lot to not be as hard as it is. Actually, one of the judges, oh boy, I'm pretty sure I touched the caterpillar, so now I can just if you hit the caterpillar once, he doesn't hurt you again. But one of the judges actually made a good comment to actually make the spacing between the attacks. The caterpillar's just stuck. The spacing between the attacks. Oh, and there we go, I did it. Triangle hit him for the 3rd time, and they were appeased. Well, not appeased. They're actually very angry, so they ran off. The opposite. But yeah, the art looks pretty good. The music is actually pretty good as well, even though you just learned it over the weekend. Now we'll get into the second minigame, although technically this is the third one that I've played. This one is pretty funny. Oh, I'm not even reading it. You can pause it and read it if you want to. This one you can't jump because you have a triangle on your head, but you have all these dogs here, and you need to pet them all to get through. So you can see you got like a time limit of the amount of time that you need to get through, and of course you'll have more and more dogs attacking you, and you just essentially need to get through, or like touch the right wall without having too many dogs touching you at the same time. So you can see a whole bunch of heart sprites. This is actually a pretty easy minigame. Oh, I think I died. Yeah, I had too many dogs in contact. This is the last minigame that I worked on. There we go. I had no idea what to do, but one of the diversifiers was pet the dog. So we were gonna pet the dog. And I especially wanted to play around a bit more with the physics, especially since I liked how the caterpillar turned out. Because the caterpillar was essentially just a whole bunch of 2D circle colliders that had rigid bodies on them. Hold on. After overcoming fears, obstacles, and challenges, the Circle and Triangle found themselves in a world with a sky of beautiful violet. The only thing standing between them was cheese. With their parents long gone, the couple climbed on top of a magnificent mountain of delicious cheese, sunsetting. As they sat on the top of the cheese mountain surveying the new world they discovered together, the Circle and Triangle shared a kiss, although their life would never be the same again, because I can't go back. So yeah, those vertices and pi. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the caterpillar, bunch of circle colliders. They have a hinge joint connected to all of them. I believe it's limited to where you can't, it can't like go into itself. I think is why I did that. But then also, every time that the circle collider collided with the ground, there would be a force applied to it that would just push it up, and then it bounced along like that, and it turned out pretty well. So then for the third minigame, I had a couple other ideas, but they're a bit more advanced, and we definitely didn't have time for it. So I was trying to think of an easy game to do that would be kind of challenging and work well with the game. And then, of course, one of the first fighters was pet the dog. And I was like, you know what? I can make a pile of dogs. Or I think it may have been the artist who represented that idea. And so then, yeah, I was like, perfect. More physics. I love it. It didn't turn out exactly how I wanted it to for the dog minigame, but it was still pretty good. But yeah, that was the game that we worked on, Vertices and Pi. I encourage you to go check it out if you have the time. It was a lot of fun, so I'll probably be doing it next year. And yeah, I'll quickly show you the other games that were submitted into the jam as well. So here it is. This is the Vertices and Pi homepage on itch.io. And you've probably already seen this because I showed the credits. So yeah, this was everybody who worked on it. And I'm gonna go to submission results so you can see Best in Show, Loose Leaf. That was a very cool, very artistic game that worked out pretty well. Bug Boy and the Frightening Lightning. It was actually a 3D game with 3D models, like complex 3D models, where essentially you're placing a whole bunch of rods in a kind of triangle formation, and so then you're trying to get the enemies that are attacking you in between the 3 lightning rods. So that was definitely a big game, and I'm surprised they're able to get all that done. Best Design, Frontier Palooza. I don't remember exactly which one this is. I'm pretty sure it's the one, yeah, 2 micro games at once. Yeah, so this one you're basically trying to play 2 games at once, and it's very frantic. Yeah, you're trying to play 2 games at once, and your controls are connected to both games, so very frantic, and you're between 2 games. Those are all the games but I'll just go over these one. Rhythm Waves, that was actually pretty cool. It went with the music, and the music was pretty great. And so then essentially each beat, these bars here would be projected onto the plane, and you would have to dodge through them, and then you got points for each one that you dodge through. Very simple, but really well put together, and actually something that was kind of cool. Best visuals, Bug Boy and the Frightening Lightning, again with the lightning and like with the 3D art. So that's kind of why I won the best visuals. Burger Buddies, that was a very cool game where they're trying to, all the burger recipe items were they had different mechanics to them. Like I think the lettuce had a double jump, the tomato could shoot, and then the cheese had a double jump. And then the burger was just the normal burger, but you're trying to all get within or in between the burger patties, and that was definitely a very fun game to play. Definitely popular among the people that were there. Line Kid, I don't remember. Oh, actually, I think I do. You go back and forth with the arrows, and you're basically supposed to swipe through as many. You're supposed to swipe through as many blocks that come at you as you can, while also dodging the blocks whenever you're not boosting through them, I believe is how that works. In between, I don't think I actually played this one. I don't remember actually seeing this one. So I encourage you to go see that. Best Sound. Go check that out. I don't think I got to play that one. Waking Dreams. This one is another kind of good visual one, like Best Leaf. The only thing is, I think it was definitely a lot more story-wise. It had a lot more, but programming-wise, it was a bit buggy and hard to play at times. But still definitely very good. Best narrative. So yeah, it was definitely good. Peony's Path. I don't think I got to play this one, but I think you're basically traversing through, and there's actually, I think I can quickly read this. I can just show you guys kind of the art here. And yeah, it's kind of an RPG type game that was very well constructed. Unfortunately, didn't play it. Best use of the theme, In Between Jobs. This one, I'm surprised like nobody else thought of that, because that's like the perfect use of the theme, In Between Jobs. Where basically you're going between doing papers and also running a business. You're supposed to balance happiness and everything that you have to do. And it's definitely well constructed for the theme. Fruit Punch, I know this one was kind of also a fan favorite, but very simple actually. Where you use mouse 1 to left punch, mouse 2 to right punch, basically Fruit Ninja, except with your hands here. So then you're hitting left click to punch the fruit on this side, right click to punch the fruit on this side, but don't hit the cups, things like that. Very cool. Most of Versifiers. Robot Ringmaster. This one was just, again, it's just one, and it wasn't necessarily judged. It was just like, hey, you had the most of them. But yeah, this one you're going in between 3 minigames, where you're trying to keep a lion happy. You're trying to keep your middle guy here from falling over, and then you're trying to keep the top left Among Us players from throwing over the guy. So I can quickly, let me click into it, then press space. So yeah, you can see balancing and doing that. So you can see, you can do that. You can press space to go in between them. And so yeah, very cool game. I know that one was a popular one as well. Rhythm Waves, talked about that. Journey to the Pearly Gates. This is innovative technology. So this one was actually a card game. I can't say much about this because I haven't played any card games, I don't think. So it was a bit confusing for me. I don't think I played it, but I've seen others play it. So there's like mana and things like that. You can see your cards. I'll quickly open up a battle because I know that the battles happen pretty quick. So yeah, the numbers aren't labeled, so I don't particularly know what any of this means, but yeah, it's a card battling game. Very cool. Rookie Award. This was like mainly rookies working on these games. I think it's rookies in terms of game jams. So majority of these guys were rookies, but then Skelecat was made by someone who had done game jam for the first time. This one's actually pretty interesting as well. It's kind of some cool technology where once the timer runs out, you will explode. I don't remember how to quickly make it explode. But you can see when you explode, your blood will form will hit any of essentially the box colliders in the area, making something that you can walk on. So you can see before I went right down, and like right here as well, spacebar to jump, right click to immediately explode. So you can see you phase through all of it. So you can see I phase through it all, but then whenever I explode, it then covers up those areas. I don't particularly like a cat exploding, but cool technology either one. So yeah, judge's choice was fruit punch. So you can see hitting the fruit, dodging the bombs and the glasses, and it was actually pretty good visual wise as well with the particles and all the fruits breaking and all that. But yeah, that was a quick run through of all of the games that won something. But Bee Crush was definitely pretty good. Purgatory, I know that one. I think some people were talking about that. And then there's some other ones here that you can go and play. This one was actually 3D as well. And yeah, this one was made in Unreal actually. And yeah, so I encourage you to go check them out as well as, of course, where is it? It's got to be here. Where is it? Vertiseason Pi, the best one. So Can You Pet the Dog? Credit where it's due, and Imposter Syndrome. I wonder if you spotted the imposter. Dun dun dun. Anyways, that's all that I wanted to show you. Just some cool games to play as part of the Texas Game Jam 2021. So, goodbye.